Guys, we are back with the Team Corally Kagama, and so far I am super impressed with this truck. In the last video, we took a close look at it, tore it apart, then took it out, saw how fast it was off-road, and then did some mild bashing with it. During that session, we had a few durability tests, including punching this hole in my ramp, but in this video, I want to find out just how tough this thing is. We're going to put it on the big ramp, do some big jumps, and almost certainly have some big crashes. If this thing can handle that abuse, this could be one of the best RC bashers ever made. Now, before we do that, there's a couple things I want to address. These tires are not vented from the factory, so I'm going to go ahead and get these vented. If you're not familiar with how to vent tires, I do have a video on why and how to do it. And then just like before any bashing session, I want to give this thing a good once-over. It's always a great idea to check over your vehicles before you bash them every time. You'd be amazed at the little things you can catch just by putting your hands on everything and making sure that screws are tight and nothing's broken. Everything looks good here. I'm going to charge up my GPS. Let's take this thing out and see how fast it is on the street. Whoa. Okay, so first of all, 55 miles an hour is pretty good, but did you guys see that crash? I hit that pole at almost top speed, probably 50 miles an hour, and there is no damage to this car. I am absolutely shocked. I thought that was the end of the day. Look at this. I don't even know where on the car I hit that pole. That is a solid steel mailbox pole. Maybe I got really lucky, but I fully expected this car to be broken. All right, well, it can punch holes in my ramp, it can shrug off mailbox poles at full speed, but can it land a big jump? Let's go find out now. Battery straps broke, ejected the battery, busted off the connector. We can fix this and be back out in a minute. Back in action. All right, guys, I finally broke it. Broke a CVD in the front. Now, keep in mind, at this point, I was trying to break the car. I'd run a couple of packs of basically non-stop jumping through it, and I wanted to see what was gonna give, and that was an on-power crash right on that corner. I have inspected the rest of the car, and so far, the only other damage I can find is that this front shock tower is a little bit bent, but it's still perfectly serviceable. The chassis is still very straight. These chassis braces have held up really, really well. All the arms are intact, shocks are good. Rear wing, surprisingly, is still good. So basically, all the bashing I've done so far, including destroying my small ramp, running it into a steel pole, and intentionally trying to break it off my big ramp, we broke a CVD, a battery strap, and slightly bent the shock tower. And just look at this body. This body is still in almost perfect condition. I didn't even reinforce this body. You've got a little bit of a bulge here and here where the front shock protectors are touching it, but I can't can't think of another vehicle out there right now that could survive what I just put it through and even have the body looking like this. Is this the most durable RC car ever made? I'm gonna say no. The Traxxas Max is still probably the most durable RC car out of the box, but the Traxxas Max also handles like a block of concrete. This thing handles really well, can do standing backflips, is extremely durable right out of the box, and it has a factor to it that is hard to describe. It's just plain fun. Every time I run this thing, it puts a smile on my face, and really in this hobby, that's what it's all about. Does the car make you happy? This car makes me happy. I think it might make you happy too. I'd recommend checking one of these out if you're in the market. Speaking of checking things out, check this video out next.